go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power.
Or now.
Oh.
We're on. Quit staring at the gun.
We're on right now?
We're on.
Oh.
We're live.
Hey YouTube, this is Varnell coming at you with another video. We're looking at the Tippmann X7 Phenom. Sorry about that, I was beautiful staring at it. But in this video, what we are going to do, sorry the beauties just got me all choked up, but we're going to show you the spool valve maintenance. If you do not know how to maintenance the spool valve, this is the video for you. But if you first off don't know how to get to the spool valve, it's kind of easy, but if you're new to Tippmann's, X7s, A5s, might be a little difficult. So what you want to do is watch our maintenance video here, and then after you watch that, come back to this video and we'll show you how to maintenance your valve.
Go.
Alright guys, welcome back. This is the spool valve that you just learned out how to take out of the Phenom by watching our full blown out maintenance video. Pretty, ain't you? Very simple. First thing you want to do is just remove your bolt and spring. And then you're going to have this little bolt bumper thing here. Just take it, set it to the side as well. Next thing you want to do, flip it over and take a 3/16 Allen key and take the back cap off, also known as the velocity adjuster. These are the holes on the outside of the gun that you put your Allen key in to adjust velocity. Take this all the way out, set it to the side. You're going to have a really big massive spring, and then the regulator right here. And then you're going to have this regulator housing, and when you get this from the factory, they put this thing on with a vise. I had a battle with this thing the first time I took it apart. Recommendation: wrench. You're gonna have to manually grip the valve here like this, get your wrench on here, and with a little bit of work this thing will come off, trust me. So I'm going to take this apart, as it's still going to take me a second, and then we'll be right back. As I said, with a lot of work, the regulator housing will come off. Set that aside, and from here, it's going to look like this. Again, pop it off. You're going to get this little cap here, and a spring and pin. This pin is actually loose in the spring, so definitely watch when you set it aside that doesn't fall off. And then what you want to do is take a small Allen key through the front of the bolt and push the actual spool valve and everything else out. And there you go. From here you can take like a paper towel or anything, just stuff it down there, wipe all the extra goop and stuff out of here. It doesn't come apart any more than this. But here you have your spool spacer, spool spring, and your spool. This is what makes all the magic happen. Very simple, but yet it does wonders in a Tippmann gun. So the first thing you want to do is wipe off any debris or anything like that you see, and then lube O-ring, O-ring, O-ring. Get those plenty lubed up. And you want to do your spool valve maintenance, I think Tippmann recommends every 8 to 10,000 shots. So every 2.5 cases, 3 cases even, I don't think would hurt it. But as this is a spool valve gun, it's going to take a little bit more love than your average Tippmann. And if you take care of it, it will take care of you. So once you have these 3 O-rings lubed up, drop it right down the center and push it down as far as it'll go, and then it'll just drop down. Take your spring, any dirt on it, wipe it off. Just take your spring and drop it down the center hole of the spool. And then you take your spool spacer, and there's also 3 O-rings on that. Lube, lube, lube. If there's any debris on it, of course wipe that off. And there's a little nipple here and then a hole here. Nipple goes in first. And you want this nipple to go in the back of that spring. Sounds harder than it is. It's actually going to make me a liar. But there you go. A little bit of work, and then you want to take your finger and just push it down in. Once you have it lubed up, it's actually going to have a tendency to come back up because the lube makes everything so slick it's going to pop back up. So just keep that in mind if it keeps popping back up. Then you want to take your spring and your spring pin. Spring goes first, pin goes up. Then you just drop it down your spool spacer like so. Then you take this cap, and it's going to have this white plastic piece here, and that actually goes down, so the flat side without the white goes up. And you want that pin to go up this center hole like that. Then you want to take your regulator housing and put it back in. And now Tippmann says that when you put this back in, you want to get it fairly tight, because if this regulator housing comes loose, you're going to get inconsistent velocity, and or it will be finicky when shooting long strings bursts of paint. You'll get strays, high velocity, short velocity, that kind of thing. So definitely when you go to put this back on, definitely want to get it as tight as you can with your hand. Just take your wrench again and give it a couple more turns and make sure it's on there good. It's on there good. Alright, you want to take this piece here, and there's an O-ring, one single O-ring, lube it up, of course wipe it off if there's any debris on it first, and then drop it down in there. Big old manly spring, drop it in there so it goes over the piece that's sticking up in the brass piece we just put there. Your end cap velocity adjuster, one O-ring, lube it up slightly, and then put it back on there. And what I found, rule of thumb for this piece, is you want to screw it in just enough to where you cannot see the O-ring anymore looking down. So just as soon as that white O-ring on it disappears out of your view, right about there, you want to stop. That's going to put you right about 250 FPS, and then you can work the rest of it at the chrono. But if you do it there, when you go to the chrono, you're not going to be shooting 350 or 120 or whatever. So put it in just far enough to where the O-ring disappears, and that's a very good starting point to getting your velocity ready to go. And the next thing you want to do is take your rubber bolt bumper, slide it on. It's the same on both sides, so it doesn't matter how you get it on. Put it all the way in there. Take a little bit of lube and lube this piece here. Put your actual front bolt on. A little bit of lube around here as well. Put your spring on. And your valve maintenance for your Phenom is done. I mean, simple, but this thing just does so much for the Phenom. It's amazing. Again, Tippmann recommends you do this every 8 to 10,000 shots. Fear highly recommends that too, because spool valve, Phenom, it's going to take more maintenance, more love, more care than your X7, your A5s, your 98s. You know, everybody's got this conception that Tippmanns can take a beating, never need cleaned, whatever. Phenoms can still take a beating, but you got to take care of them. I said that before. I just want to stress the point though. Take care of the Phenom. It'll take care of you. Shoots better, more accurate, more efficient than any other Tippmann out there, and it'll continue to be that way for years if you just do the simple maintenance every 2 or 3 cases of paint. So this is, again, Varnell for your PayPal.net. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.